my channel. My name is Peyton Hawes, and today I will be doing a recap and review of Love is Blind Season 8, Episode 9. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, check out my description box below, and I will have a playlist with all the other episodes we've done prior to this. If you like the show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I have also done recaps and reviews of season 1 of that show, so you can check those out if you want. When season 2 comes out, I will be doing recaps and reviews of that as well. I do not strictly do recaps and reviews on this channel. I am going to start doing book reviews as well, but I deconstructed Mormonism, was born and raised in the Mormon church slash religion, and I have a whole faith crisis series on my channel where I deconstructed and eventually left the church. So I have those kinds of videos on here too. I just kind of do things that I enjoy. It's kind of like a lifestyle channel, but I don't show my children or anything like that. Just talk about things that I like, that I'm interested in, share my views and opinions. If you like that kind of thing, please don't forget to subscribe and join our community. I am a very small channel. I just have over 1,000 subscribers, was recently monetized, and I would love to get to a point where this channel blows up and this can be my main source of income. That would be amazing. That's just a little dream come true here. So yeah, stick around, watch the videos. I hope you love and enjoy them, and join the conversation in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So we start off episode 9 with Taylor meeting Daniel's parents, and it goes really well. Like, tears were shed, and they were really emotional about this process and experience. Daniel has a sister who is blind, so she has gone throughout her life loving people for who they are and not what they look like. That process or experience is not something that is new to Daniel's family. It's something that they see as beautiful, something that they love. So they seemed pretty open to the experiment, and they seemed to really like Taylor, and they seemed to be happy for the two of them and in support of the marriage. And Taylor, got a little bit emotional, saying that she just wants her parents to come around and have their added support as well, because they feel very skeptical. Anyway, they seem very skeptical of the experiment and all of that. So, and we'll get into what happens with Taylor's parents a little bit later in the episode. But for right now, we go over to Dave, who meets Lauren's friends in a spin class, and he voices concerns about this guy that she supposedly dated that lives in the building that they're living in right now for the experiment. Apparently, one of Dave's friends, it's like an acquaintance kind of thing, was kind of dating Lauren before they went on Love is Blind. Lauren is denying that they were ever exclusively dating. It was very casual. She said it was more of like a friends with benefits kind of thing, and she did not feel like it was a circumstance where she would need to break up with somebody. That's not the type of relationship it was. He never met her friends. He never met her family. It was some very, on rare occasion, casual thing that they did sometimes. And the friends are trying to advocate for her that they don't really know him, that she didn't bring him around, they didn't hang out together. They're trying to affirm or assure Dave that he doesn't have anything to worry about and that they were not serious like that or anything. And Dave is having a hard time understanding how Lauren could have been in that kind of relationship prior to the experiment and then all of a sudden be ready for marriage. And he says that like flirting with girls in a bar prior to going on the show doesn't quite feel the same. I want to respect and validate his feelings. I will say, to the extent that he is taking this, I think it's kind of a cop-out. I think there are other aspects of the relationship, or Lauren specifically, that he is not vibing with, and I think he's using this as an excuse to potentially get out. And I don't know. I still want to validate his feelings in a way, and understand that he can feel uncomfortable or nervous about anything that he wants to feel uncomfortable or nervous about, and that's fine, and his feelings are valid. But I do think that he's taking it to an extreme in a way that feels like most people aren't fully understanding why it's as big of a deal to him as it is. So I'm thinking that maybe there are other aspects, like maybe he's not fully attracted to Lauren and he doesn't want to say that because that's rude, and that defeats the purpose of the experiment. I mean, he's kind of implied that a little bit in a few cases, but anywho, we'll come back to them again later. Virginia now goes to meet Devon's family, and the family seems to love her. They give them their blessing, and they seem so happy to see Devon happy. Yeah, one of Devon's, I think it's like Devon's sister or something, seems like super nervous about the prenup. She's like, why are you preparing for a divorce? And Devon's like, yeah, I was really taken back when she brought that up at first, but I kind of warmed up to it, came around. I think it's kind of a smart idea. And like, we don't have intentions to ever need it or use it, but it's there if we ever did for some reason, but we don't intend to need it. So he's kind of trying to affirm her in that. Devon's mom seems kind of emotional about it in kind of like a teeter-totter kind of way. Like, she seems nervous, like she's just getting to know Virginia. They're getting married and she wants to know Virginia more, but also seems really happy that Devon's happy. She gives her blessing, and the dad was really quiet, but eventually was just like, if you're happy, I'm happy. So that was a cute situation. Next, we get Sarah meeting some of Ben's friends. And they seem to really love her. They talk about their differences in religion, how Ben is Christian, and there's another girl there who's like agnostic or atheist or something, and how that's never impacted their friendship. And they talked about how Ben says he doesn't prefer the word religion, he prefers faith, and which he also said in the pods, which made me feel like he wasn't just saying that to make Sarah feel more comfortable. I started to feel like, okay, he was being serious. This is how he talks to his friends back home too, and this is how they see him. And let's see. Yeah, I just really started to trust him in this moment, that the way he customizes his Christian beliefs for his life and his own personal life. I don't know. I started to actually believe that he customizes it for him and his lifestyle, where in the pods I kind of wondered if he was being truthful about that, or if he was just like really, really into Sarah and didn't want to lose her and was saying things to make her feel more comfortable. So I started to trust him a little bit more through these interactions with his friends. One of the friends was gay as well, and so I don't know. There's like, he has an agnostic friend and a gay friend, and obviously, like, just because you have friends who are anything different than you doesn't mean that you are automatically not judgmental of those things. But I didn't really get the vibe here that Ben was being dishonest or manipulative in any way. I actually started trusting him a little bit in this realm through that interaction, and they all seem to really like Sarah too. So that was a really cute interaction in my opinion. Next, we get Monica and Joey talking about them meeting Monica's family, and Joey said that he doesn't feel like Monica's sister likes him very much, and Monica wants to know how he feels about that, and he said, it's not really my problem. I don't have control over whether or not people like me or not. Obviously, I want her to like me, but I think she just doesn't really know me yet. And he's like, but it's not really my problem. It's out of my control, unless there's something that I did specifically that would make her feel that way. I can't control other people, and I'm just who I am. If people don't like that, then that's what it is. And I loved that. For me, that just screams confidence. That screams confidence more than anything else could, I feel like. Like, I am who I am, and if you don't like it, that's fine. That's out of my control. You don't like it, you don't like it. There's plenty of other people who are gonna vibe with me, and that's fine. Those are the people that I want in my life, you know? But obviously, if he's gonna marry Monica, he wants his family, their families to get along and for it to be okay. So he's obviously like, I'd like her to like me, but I can't control it. And he's not letting it be that big of a deal, which I admired. Monica thinks it's really important that Joey and her sister have a one-on-one conversation where they can talk things out and clear some air and just get this resolved. She said the opinion of her sister means a lot to her, and Joey totally understands. He's like, the opinion of my family also matters to me. And it's like, at the end of the day, our opinions are our own, but when we have family who we really care about, who we know loves us mutually, and they've been there our entire lives, and we respect their opinions, I can understand how you would care about the opinion of your family that you care about. And so Joey agrees, and he's like, yeah, I'd be happy to talk to her. And then he brings up how Joey asks Monica about her past relationships, and he's like, has she been judgmental, or has she approved of anybody else in your life before? And she's sitting there thinking, she's like, no, not even like friends. She really hasn't approved of past relationships or friendships. Nobody is ever good enough for me. And Joey is like, do you think there's some unresolved issues there or feelings of jealousy that you need to talk about? And I was like, you know, I kind of picked that up when Monica and her sister were talking by the campfire. She was like, I always thought that I would be the first one to get married. I'm older. I feel like that should be me, but I guess it's going to be you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe she is jealous that Monica's going to be the first one to get married. And it's also interesting that one of Monica's previous relationships is Monica's sister's current relationship. Does that make sense? I don't know Monica's sister's name, so I'm just referring to her as Monica's sister, but she is dating someone who was there at the house when Joey went, who Monica previously dated. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right? Anywho, next we move on to Daniel meeting Taylor's family. So where we left off last time with Taylor meeting Daniel's family, Taylor was emotional, talking about how she just really wants her parents' approval and support in this. And so now we're meeting Taylor's parents, and Taylor's mom expresses that she feels left out. Like, she's meeting this man for the first time and finding out that they're engaged, and she feels like there's this whole section of the relationship or experience that usually your family would be involved in. You introduce them as your boyfriend, you guys are dating, you get to know each other, you ask for permission to get married, and then you become engaged. And a lot of times that experience happens together, and she's just like, I just feel so left out. I was unaware of the engagement, and that is a once in a lifetime experience, and she just really wanted to be a part of that whole thing. And Taylor's parents, oh yeah, at this point Daniel's parents show up to meet Taylor's parents, which I think is really cool. I loved my parents meeting my husband's parents. Well, my husband's mom, my husband's dad passed away before we met, but I loved that being able to happen. I always wished that Colin's parents and my parents could have a closer relationship, but everyone lives so far apart, and there's just a lot of like personal reasons as to why I don't think that would ever happen. But I think it's really cool to have the in-laws meeting up and getting to know each other. And Taylor's parents want Daniel to know that this is a lifelong commitment and divorce is not an option. Daniel agrees that divorce is not an option, and they're just like, this is an I disagree. Nobody wants to get married assuming that divorce is where they're going to be headed. However, I do not believe in unconditional love in relationships outside of parent-child relationships. I think parents should have unconditional love for their children always. I have unconditional love for my children. Obviously there are decisions that I hope that they never make. Obviously there are decisions that they might make that might make me not want them in my house or around my other children. There are things where people do things that make me feel like this is no longer a safe relationship. I'll still always have unconditional love for my children regardless of what they do. That does not mean I'm going to approve of all of their decisions and choices and anything like that, but the love will be unconditional. I will not have unconditional love for anybody else. For me, I'm like, if we're getting married, there will be conditions. Don't cheat on me. Don't hurt my children or our children. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt anybody in my family that I love. Always have my back. Like, there's so many things that a human being can do. Like, I will leave. I will file for divorce if you do certain things. There are certain things that cross line. There are certain criminal behaviors that can happen that crosses the line. Like, there's people in my family who were divorced for criminal activity and behavior. Not okay with me. Not okay. There are certain things that you can do where there's a reason divorce is an option, in my opinion. Obviously, I don't want to get divorced. Obviously, I'm like, right now, I'm happily married. There's always room for improvement and things that we are constantly working on together, but we're happy and I hope it stays that way. But there are things that you can do that would make me leave. I'm not just going to sit here and say you can do whatever you want and I'll never leave you. You can cheat on me. You can burn your cigarettes on my arm. You can, my husband doesn't smoke. I'm just like using examples of stuff. You're not gonna hit me or hit my children or all of a sudden turn into some like raging alcoholic that's like driving when you're drunk or high or doing these different, like, there's so many things that you can do where I'll leave. Treat me and our family with respect. That's like the most basic condition. So that's how I feel, but I know lots of people don't believe in divorce and that's fine. Daniel asks Taylor's parents for their permission for her hand in marriage. And I honestly teared up. I haven't been vibing with them as a couple. I don't have a lot of faith in them as a couple. I feel like they're cute, but I'm not obsessed. And that could just be the way that they're edited on TV. I don't know them in real life. I don't know what their relationship looks like when the cameras are off or behind closed doors. So who am I to say anything at all? Also, if you hear my children screaming because they play so loudly, they're in the playroom right next door, not next door house, but the room right next door. And these walls are like paper thin and they like to yell when they're playing. So I'm hoping my mic is not picking that up, but if it is, apologies. I'm a stay-at-home mom, okay? I'm trying to make a living here on YouTube. It's not working yet, but I'm trying. We're getting there. It's gonna happen eventually. Subscribe, please. Thank you so much. But yeah, I honestly teared up. They gave Daniel their permission and they said, take care of her. And he said he will. Next, we move on to Dave and Lauren. They're prepping to meet with some of Dave's friends because Lauren wants to clear the air. She's like, I feel like so many people are saying things and saying that this happened or that happened, and I'm not there to defend myself, and you're telling me that your friends are saying this, and that's not true. That didn't happen. So I want everyone in one room so we can all talk about it. So they're prepping like little like snack trays and stuff for people to come over. And Dave says like, yeah, they're kind of on standby. And she's like, well, what do you mean they're on standby? I want to talk to them. I didn't understand that things were up in the air. And she's like, well, I didn't know if he's telling her like, I didn't know if this was gonna if it was gonna be too much or blah blah blah. And she's like, no, I want to talk to them. I am tired of people saying things about me and my life and things that I supposedly did, and I'm not there to defend myself. Fair, fully fair. I 100% believe Lauren in this. And Lauren, I guess this guy is saying that Lauren supposedly slept with him the weekend before Love is Blind, and she's like promising that that is not true and that they were just friends with benefits. It was nothing more than that. It happened just like a handful of times. It was not something that she believed she needed to break off before Love is Blind, that it was just whatever. And she has a theory that this guy is just seeking to be on TV and wants to be on the show and is making this like a bigger deal than it actually is. So we'll see how that plays out. The very last thing to happen on episode 9 is some drama starts coming out about Ben and some girl who's accusing him of something. I don't really know what. It sounds like she was like crying on a TikTok or something, saying that he treats people really badly and like, that we're so tired of these reality TV men treating women poorly. And Sarah's like, whoa, like what's going on with this girl? Ben's like, We never even hooked up. We went on like one date and I ghosted her. I can't even remember why. And Sarah's like, girl, he's like, how do you not remember why? This girl is literally crying on TikTok, crying tears. How do you not remember what happened? And he's like, it was a long time ago. And the girl saying that Ben was manipulative and treats girls poorly. And Sarah's like, I don't like that you don't remember. And he's like, how do you not remember what happened between the two of you? She's like, you really need to tell me everything, because if more comes out about this and I find out that more went down than what you're telling me right now, I'm not going to be able to trust you. Which, like, fully 100%, I stand by that. I really like Sarah a lot so far. I feel like I could be really good friends with her in real life. I feel like I just vibe with her. But I like that she's willing to stand up for herself and say these things, because some people might sit back and be quiet, trying to keep the peace. Sorry, I'm just hearing loud crashing in the playroom, and I'm just like, why do we have to throw our doll houses across the room? Okay, my husband's going out there to check. I can hear him. Anywho, I just like that she's standing up for herself and that she's willing to have the uncomfortable conversations, because that's so important, especially when marriage is on the line. So that's how episode 9 ended. As the day that I'm filming this, more episodes are coming out tomorrow, so I'm gonna watch those, take notes, film videos for those. So make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell turned on so that you can be notified as more episodes come out. Please hear me when I say to subscribe, pretty please, because I really want this to be my main source of income. I would love to make some money on YouTube. I'm technically monetized, but I don't have a ton of content or viewership, though I don't really make money yet. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Leave a comment below. Join the conversation. Talk about the couples. Tell me what you love or don't love about the couples. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much again. Bye, guys.